Forgets, and welcome to It Came From My Side of the Laundry Room. My name is Rob, and in this episode, we'll be talking about an action figure I purchased, I think, for the simple reason that it was in really cool, nostalgic packaging. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the character that it is. I think I may like the action figure. I mean, we'll be opening it up, and I'll see if I like it. But let me start from the beginning. I was walking through Walmart, and as usual, I headed to the collectibles aisle back in the electronics area. See, I love looking at the toys back there. I mean, it's a lot of like anime figures that I like. It's some Pops. It's, some NECA figures. Ones that suck, but they at least have NECA figures. But, I mean, a lot of stuff catches my eye, but I hardly ever purchase it. And on the off chance, like, I'll let something stew and think about it for a really long time that, I'm finally going to commit and purchase it. After seeing it there for months and months and months, I'll go back and it's sold out. So, fate is telling me that I didn't need it. Anyway, it was one of those little jaunts through Walmart that I walked through the collectible aisle and I saw this very nostalgic themed packaging for a really awesome character, but for some reason my hand shot to the shelf, threw it in the cart, and didn't think twice. Did the packaging alone just lure me in? Was it the character? I mean, I think it's a healthy dose of both scenarios. Now, the character in question is the Rocketeer, and Walmart released this exclusive Rocketeer figure in VHS packaging. It's like an old VHS clamshell. I mean, the only difference between this one and the real one is it doesn't say Disney anywhere on it. It does on the back. But this was produced by Diamond Select Toys. Diamond, the distributor of comics and collectibles. And in conjunction with Disney, they released this figure. Now, like I said, it's pretty faithful VHS type packaging. Awesome clamshell type of design. And even the back of the packaging, we'll look at it in detail. I'm sorry. We'll look at it in detail on the other side. But, yeah, I mean, was this enough for me to just grab it without thinking? Unfortunately, that not thinking part kind of bit me in the butt because, in my mind, this was a $25 figure. $25 at the most. I look at my receipt, and it was $30. Now, that's only a couple dollars more than my anticipated price, but it was enough for me to question purchasing it and thinking about returning it. But I said, no, I mean, when's another good time to get a Rocketeer figure? I mean, I love the movie, I love the comics growing up, and heck, I even love the revival cartoon that they did on the Disney Channel. I thought that was kind of cool. So, I'm a big fan of the character, so why not? So, I held on to it, and now it's time for us to take a look at it. Okay, folks, here we go. The Rocketeer. Like I said, I'm a fan of the movie, and I love the comics, and Disney even released a cartoon kind of revitalizing the franchise of, it's, I believe his granddaughter now has the jetpack and flies around and saves people and the like. It's an animated show, and it's cute, and yeah, I don't know if it's still kicking or not. But anyway, this is, other than the size, you could possibly think this was a VHS copy of the movie, like probably a lot of us had at the time. Other than this choking warning and this stupid Walmart exclusive sticker on it. But, and ages, I mean, you don't, other than a rating. Anyway, let's take a look at the back like I was trying to show you. It even has pictures from the movie, just like the VHS did. Got a picture, here's Cliff, great picture. Here he is blasting off, and here he is, Luger in hand. And you even have a little write-up just like the movie did on the back. Now, the difference is after you get the synopsis of the movie, this says, this action figure of the Rocketeer features multiple points of articulation. Designed by Yuri Timing, sculpted by Gentle Giant Studios. So that's kind of cool. Gentle Giant, they have a great reputation for making great toys. So, and this support your local comic shop. I just think that's really great that they put that there. And of course you have Disney's branding on it as well. Now, I mean, on the spine it says it's an action figure. Got Diamond Select Toys here in their website. So, right there should be where the story ends. I mean, I should be happy enough to display it like that, but I'm not. I want to take it out. I want to play with it. I want to see it next to my other figures. Now, I have a feeling this might be a 7-inch scale. For some reason, I'm having a hard time telling. I mean, because of like how they have his head in here, you know, the standoff of the package with his feet and all. But, I mean, we can see that he comes with some awesome, you know, special effects pieces, you know, some fire, cool stand with an armature, which I have a few of that come with my Japanese action figures I get. But, you know, we got an alternative chest plate for his coat, some hands, his jetpack. And I'm going to tell you right now, just looking at this, the one huge disappointment to me is he doesn't have his gun. I mean, that's, a signature piece of the character. I mean, from the comics to the movie. Of course, not the Disney show. But, I mean, even on the back of the packaging, that's why I pointed it out. Here he is with his Luger. Now, I got a whole bunch of extra pieces here and there, but I don't even know if one of his hands is equipped to hold anything. So, now, I did a little bit of spying beforehand, and this pretty much looks like as soon as you rip these off, there's no way to keep these. I mean, they might be secure if you can pop them back in these bubbles, but these pieces will not reattach. I was hoping that I could play with it, put it back, and display it like that, but this looks like once I commit to opening it, that's it. And this, you know, vintage nostalgic packaging is just trash. I mean, luckily it's made out of cardboard, so it is recyclable. So let's pause here and I'll be right back with him out of his packaging. So, I mean, just to save some time and to save your ears from the popping and crinkling of plastic, we'll cut out the unboxing portion of this and get right to the playing. So I'll be right back. Okay, folks, here we go. Here is the Rocketeer. And yeah, my suspicions were correct. And as soon as I removed this from the packaging and started ripping apart the plastic and all, it just butchered the packaging. So probably the one thing that I paid a scotch extra for and what drew me to get this guy, I destroyed. So did I make the right decision? Who knows? We will see shortly. But I have to say, I really dig it. I mean, it looks really nice. His helmet looks great now that I can see it, you know, front facing. So let's look at the finer points here. One of the things I don't like is the stand. He doesn't really want to stand on it that great. I mean,
I don't know if it's the weight of the figure, but I mean, he didn't want to stand that great with it. And I feel like once you start adding the jetpack and all to it, he's going to be very top heavy, back heavy, and fall over. But we have this armature to play with, so we'll take a look at that in a moment. But let's look at the finer points of this. First would have to be the helmet. Looks great. Unfortunately, it doesn't come off. There's no cliff head underneath. An odd skin tone, but still pretty cool. Oh, his chest piece popped right off automatically. Now these are separate pieces, the straps for his jetpack, but they are attached snugly and probably glued down. But we have, you know, his snapped up jacket front, and we also have this like dressed down unbuttoned side. That looks cool. To me, that looks very reminiscent of the comic. Now it seems to hold on pretty good, but this one, it seemed like just as soon as I touched it, it wanted to come off. Yeah, look at that. So I might be going with the folded down version for displaying, because I just like the pulpiness of it a little bit more. Now, he stands very well without his stand. Well, at least he did 5 seconds ago. Now he wants to make me a liar. But, I mean, I have to say, it's very simple. I don't like that this is a little crooked, so maybe we can fix this a tad. But it looks like these little rivets right here, if they are coming out okay. They're probably glued, but if you wanted to, you could probably pop those off. I mean, it looks like it's a finished figure underneath, and like I said, it's a separate piece. It moves for sure. Because I'm going to try to straighten it up. See, his chest piece came off again. We'll just leave it off for right now. But this is a form of articulation I've seen here and there. I think Hasbro has done it right with the like a ball joint up in here that you can move a little bit better. But I mean, he can do the splits, so he can do like aerial ballet while he's flying around. So you got those joints. You also have the joints here. So he can be Jean-Claude Van Damme starring in The Rocketeer. He has some thigh spinach. I don't mean spinach. They spin. The knee actually is a ball joint, so it can move this way and this way, but it's a single joint, unlike the Hasbro model of things. And I'm using that as an example because I think that's a great 6-inch scale. Now I'm going to grab one of my G.I. Joes here in a moment to see how the scale measures up. Now he has some movement here in his foot. Ah, my ankle! So that's pretty good. But all in all, I mean, it's pretty simple molding. This is an interesting... I don't understand. Oh, it's just detailing on the pants right here. Now the coat, of course, seems like a separate piece here, so it does have, there is like a separate piece there, but there's no hip movement. elbow's double jointed. I like it. I mean, it's very unimpeded. Look, now he looks like a supervillain. Yes. You have wrist movement, and it spins. Shoulders are pretty good. Sorry I'm like dissecting its articulation, but I've never had a Diamond Select figure or Gentle Giant figure, so I'm just curious to what all it's capable of. I mean, not too shabby. I'm digging it. It's simple in some areas, but really good in some others. So we shall go with this like I had stated. I think that looks pretty cool. Do you like that, or do you like this one? Jury's out. We can decide later. Now, it comes with multiple hands, like I said. But I really don't know why. I mean, this is... Sorry for my funky cut-up hands here. And it's a very simple cupped hand holding an apple or something. Get two of those. But yet again, comes with a fist, you know, where he's pushing, looks like the button, but it's not an open, oops, sorry. Looks like he's pushing the button, but you can't open the hand. There's nowhere to put anything, and I think that's pretty lame. I might have to see what I can do here. Maybe turn one of these somehow into a gun hand and see if I have something acceptable. Some guerrilla customization. So we'll put the hands here. Now his jetpack. I mean, very nice. I like it. Simple yet effective. And it comes with these special effect pieces, if you will. And it attaches to these posts. So we will change his hand, see how easy that is. Pretty easy. Let's see how well this one goes in to the push the button hand. Kind of that awkward. Here, we'll have it like he's holding on to the harness. His feet. Sorry, I'm trying to get a okay pose here. And the post is here and here. Sorry, I didn't show you. It's here on this stand. Whoopsies. But it almost seems like he's too heavy. To be hung up high enough. Here, let's see what happens if we do it like most of the Japanese figures that I have that I use these are lighter figures. This is a very heavy figure, so it just kind of pulls it down. I mean, yes, it looks like he's kind of flying there, but as soon as I let go, it's too heavy to be supported by this stand. That is disappointing. Now maybe I can tighten the screws a little bit that kind of take away the hinge ability. There we go. Camera came off there. See all my crap in the background. That doesn't look too bad. Kind of like that. So let me pause it again and let me see what I can do. Let's see if I have the capability to try to get a gun in his hand. Now, I don't think I have a outright Luger, but let me see what I got. So hold on a second.
6 hours later.
Okay, folks, I am back, and wow. Yeah, it's crazy. Let me just start by saying I tightened up the screws on this, so we'll see if it can support his weight a little bit better. But I tried my hardest. Well, first off, I didn't have any Luger type of pistol. So I kind of had to modify a sci-fi-esque gun that I have no idea where it came from. Hopefully it doesn't dawn on me one day who it belonged to, and makes me sad. But I kind of modified that and did a lot of work to mold one of these open hands into a gripping hand. And long story short, use some different types of glues and a vice grip. I mean, that's the last step that I tried. I tried other things, many other things, until I was fed up and just put it in a vice grip with some crazy glue with his hands around the modified sci-fi-esque gun that I found. So this is what I'm left with, and keep in mind it was in a vice for a while, but I mean, it's not a Luger, kind of close, and it kind of smushed the hand down, kind of pancaked one side, but these fingers are very delicate, and yeah, I don't think I was going to get any extra like knuckle detailing or anything out of it, because that's what they had. And it's weird, when I used that crazy glue, it started eating the paint away, and it even made the plastic very soft. So I think that may have helped, but let's hope that it at least looks somewhat decent in his hand. So let's rip his... Oh my goodness. There we go. Please go in okay. I took such delicate care of the stalk. There we go. Now it's, I mean, it's not perfect, but it'll do. Kind of fits the sci-fi-esque nature of the jetpack, so I can live with it. So let's put this on here. And let's see if the stand can support the weight after tinkering with it. Okay, just fall apart in my hands, why don't you? That's not too shabby. I'm kinda happy with what I did. I just need to find a happy medium with this base. Let's move it back so we can get it all in frame. Oh, and watch him teeter-totter. Oh, you son of a bitch. Oh my God. Okay. Not a bad figure. I think the moral of the story is that Gentle Giant should have included a gripping hand. Maybe for whatever reason they didn't want to include a gun. I get it. I do. But they should at least provide you with a hand to put whatever you want in his hand. Doesn't mean they have to condone a gun or even you putting a gun in his hand, but it could have been whatever you wanted it to be, honestly. This stand is a piece of junk. Yeah, whatever. Back to me.
Yeah, back to me. Honestly, I have not been that frustrated with a toy in a very long time. Now, it's not anyone's fault but mine that I wanted to, augment it, to put a gun in his hand, to make it more screen accurate, and I did the best I could. I'm okay with it. But the thing that really, really makes me angry is the stand that it came with. After I just chucked everything down and turned off the other camera, between then and now, more time has passed with me just messing with that stupid stand. Now, again, the figure is solid for what it is. It's a good figure. But if you're going to charge that price by adding extras like the stand, make sure it works. I mean, I had to mess with that and tinker with that until it's adequate at best. I mean, it's not great, it's just what it is. And I have it up on the shelf. Granted, you can't... It's very hard to have Cliff, the Rocketeer, be completely above his stand. It's oddly off balance. So I had to clear a lot of space around him just because of that. Could I have just put him without the stand? Sure. But he's the Rocketeer. 90% of his shtick is he can fly. So you want to have him flying while you're displaying him. If I was just going to have him stand there, why even give him a jetpack? And crap is just falling off the shelves because of me dealing with all that. And of course, in the midst of that, thank God I took tomorrow off, but my alarm just went off for when I should be getting up for work. So, that just shows you how long I've been screwing around with this. Anyway, it's a solid figure. Is it worth the money? No. Was half of the appeal the packaging? Sure. Again, my choice to take it out of the packaging, which rendered that cool, nostalgic selling point obsolete. It went into the recycle cardboard can because, thank God, it's actually recyclable when it's not a cheap plastic VCR-esque tape case like back in the day. Anyway, I'm just frustrated. I can't even say I hope you liked this episode because I don't even like this episode. But I'm still going to put it out because by the time this airs, I'll be away on vacation. So I wanted to provide you all something to watch while I'm gone. Anyway, if you actually did like this episode, please give me a thumbs up. If you got something to say, please leave a comment. I love reading them, and I love getting back to everybody. And if you're new around here and you happen to enjoy this episode, please hit subscribe. And if you hit that little bell icon, you will be notified whenever there's a new episode. Anyway, thanks. Keep being rad and stay dorky.